Sucharan's Jannal Oram is a musical journey that will take us to different landscapes and sounds rooted in Carnatic music. Similar to the many visuals we see through the small window frame on a bus journey, Jannal Oram is going to be a treat for our ears. Join us for Jannal Oram and get a taste of the much-loved window seat.
Vanakkam, good evening and namaste. Gives me great pleasure and honor to be here in a very different setting. I'm not here with my team of artists. I'm not here with my usual Shruti box and everything that I come on stage with. It's a new setting for me, and thanks TieCon for having me as this year's music/infotainment. Before I begin, I would like to sincerely congratulate everyone in this room, including the winners, because you've all made a difference. You've all made a difference in your respective businesses, but also made a difference in the lives of those who believed in you, in the lives of those who trusted in your instinct. So, hearty congratulations to all the winners and everyone present in this room, all the entrepreneurs present in this room. Jannal Oram, as you can see, is a recently curated web series available on YouTube that I, along with my team from Kala Kendra and Sruzen Mind Matters, we came about with. It was conceived earlier, but it saw the light of the day only this year. It's a humble attempt in bringing Carnatic music closer for a familiar audience, and not only that, in bringing a new audience close to Carnatic music. Because each time as a performer, when I go on stage and look at a different set of audience, it first unsettles me, but then as you gain experience, you realize that a new audience brings out a different facet in you, a different dimension in your art form. And that difference is all it takes to be a standalone performer. So I always aspire for a new audience because it kind of pushes me away from the comfort zone that I'm usually associated with. And once you're pushed out of the comfort zone, what is the one thing that gets tested the most? Your resilience. And that brings us to today's topic of Resilience Unlimited. When I think of the word resilience, I'm reminded of the famous movie by Christopher Nolan that came out in 2010, Inception. As much as I am a Carnatic musician, a performer, and a student, I love to watch movies. And that's one of the familiar tropes that I always continue in my Jannal Oram series, because I feel that if a new audience looks at Carnatic music through a familiar frame, a familiar window of movies or actors or current affairs or anything that they can relate to easily, it makes the whole journey of understanding a very intricate and an ancient art form as Carnatic music very easy and very relatable. And that's the reason I keep going back to movies. Yes, coming back to Resilience and Inception. Can anyone guess what was the famous dialogue that the lead character in Inception, Cobb, played by DiCaprio, what does he say? Okay, before you start Googling the answer, let me tell out. Maybe you will go and watch Inception tonight. It's available on some OTT, I don't remember what. Anyway, Cobb says that the most resilient parasite, he uses the word parasite, but I'm going to rephrase it and call it a concept. The most resilient concept that can be implanted into your subconscious brain is an idea. An idea is the most resilient thing to enter your brain, because once an idea gets control of your brain, once the brain fully understands that idea, it's impossible to eradicate that. That idea becomes contagious within your brain. The idea may or may not bear fruit. The idea may or may not materialize, but it is there in your brain at every given point of time. And when you see someone else coming up with the same concept, your brain gives you a whack and says that, hey, you thought of that, why didn't you do anything about it? And that inspires you to come up with better ideas in the future, and also with better efforts to make sure that that idea materializes. And that idea is the reason all of us are seated here today. That idea is the reason for TieCon Awards Night. And the idea is the reason we have such illustrious and sparkling entrepreneurs over here who are enriching the lives of many people every day. அவ்வளவு ஏன் இந்த ஐடியா அதோட காரணம் தான் இன்னைக்கு ஜன்னல் ஓரம் நான் இங்கே உட்காந்துருக்கிற காரணமும். கோவிட் டயத்தில் I'll be switching from English and Tamil because, as Kamal Hassan says in Tasavataram, I always think in my local language, which is Tamil. All of you would have horror stories to share about March 2020, right? When COVID first came into Indian territory. I think it was sometime in March 9th or 10th when I had a concert in Srirangam. That was the last concert with a live and a full auditorium, full audience that I did in 2020. And by the time we were traveling back to Chennai, I knew things were getting wrong, things were going out of control. We get all different sorts of information, right? And slowly, concert calls from organizers started getting shorter and shorter. Our usual concert call will be like this: hello, 24th free arkingla? Yes, let me check. Yes, sir, free arken. Good, please note the calendar. I'll get back to you with other details. இப்படி தான் ஒரு concert call இருக்கும். But March, Aprilலாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னாக்க same pattern. Hello? Oh, cancelled, postponed. This was the question I used to ask. And invariably, it would be cancelled. So concerts started getting cancelled. Thankfully, I had not accepted any commitment to go abroad in the first half of 2020. My US tour was supposed to happen as late as October 2020. Needless to say, it was pushed. And I'm happy to say that it has been rescheduled for next week onwards. I'm traveling to the US, the same tour which was cancelled in 2020. So from that 2020 to 2022, one thing that I learned, and I'm still learning, is resilience. Because COVID-19, if anything, it taught us how to be more resilient. And Jannal Oram was a result of that resilience, an idea born out of that resilience. And for all of us, COVID-19 started off as a welcome break, but very soon it reached the breaking point. We didn't know what to do. I just used to sit by the window. Jannal Oram means by the window in English. And wondering what has happened to the world. And the Mayan civilization la predict panna mari, is this really the apocalypse? Is this really the end of the world as we knew? The world used to be so much more lively, bubbling with people, travel and everything. And here I am sitting by the window, enjoying quality time with my family, with my art, with my friends and everyone on Skype and Zoom. But something was missing, and I missed going and having that interaction with the live audience. I would also like to congratulate all of us over here in the room for showing that resilience, for making it this far in this war against COVID-19. And resilience is what I'm going to be talking about and singing about for the next few minutes. When I think of resilience, I can think of 3 different songs, 3 different aspects of resilience that are very key, very important to the whole act of being resilient. Number 1, guts. And ஒரு கெத்து வேணும், அந்த ஒரு தன்னம்பிக்கை வேணும். You need to prove that you will conquer an adverse situation. You need to chin up and say that, yes, I will meet you on the other end after the bright light at the end of the tunnel. I will meet you after the bright light. அந்த ஒரு கட்ஸ் வேணும். இப்போ ரீசெண்டாக வந்த படம் விக்ரமில் கமல் சொன்ன மாதிரி பார்த்துக்கலாம் அதுங்க மாதிரி. So let's see what happens. அந்த ஒரு கட்ஸ் வேணும். The next, of course, is patience. Patience is virtue. It's a virtue. அந்த ஒரு பொறுமை வேணும். That things will happen in their own pace, things will get better, and I have to wait it out. There's no use getting flustered, being more aggressive than usual. And finally, wishful thinking or hope. Life is nothing without hope. So in the moon aspect, guts, patience, and hope. எடுத்து காமிக்கிறதுக்காக I'll be singing 3 little songs. One poet who has always fascinated me with his work is Subramanya Bharatiyar. In fact, the first episode of Jannal Oram features compositions by Subramanya Bharati. And to me, he is the epitome of guts, of resilience, because many of his works inspire us. And the verses that I'm going to be singing now is very popular in film also. In fact, நான் இந்த ஃபஸ்ட்டு இந்த வேர்ஸ் கேட்டுறதே ஒரு கச்சேரியிலையோ ஒரு பாடகர் மூலமாக இல்லை. அகெயின் கோயிங் பேக் டு மூவிஸ், மகாநதியில் Kamal Hassan, Santana Bharati sir, collaboration. The wonderful movie that came in 1990 where the protagonist, Krishna Swami, is pushed into the abyss. One bad thing after the other, and he's pushed down. And finally, he manages to clamber his way up. And that's when somebody gives him a book of Bharadiyar poems, and he reads these verses and starts to slowly regain confidence in life. And for Kamal fans, if this is the news, Rajinikanth fans, I also have news for you, because the same line was used by Rajini in his movie Petta, the recent movie where he starts his movie dialogue with the words, "Naan veelven endru ninaithayo." So much so that when I first sang this song in a concert, they actually thought I was singing a song from a Rajini film. I said, no, this is way back from early 20th century where Subramanya Bharati has written these awe-inspiring words, confidence-boosting words, which start with the words, "Thedi choru nidam tindru." Let me just translate it quickly for those who don't know Tamil. Like that hapless and helpless human being who searches day in and day out lazily for the next meal, who is happy eating every day without doing anything in his life. Like that hapless human being who gossips around small stories, who feels bad about themselves and worries too much, and who do things to hurt others around them, who seem to just get old and wither away with time, who become a victim of terrible accusations thrown against them. Do you think I will fall like that hapless human being? Did you think I will not fight back? No, I will fight back. Naan veelven endru ninaithayo. He ends with that question, and that question symbolizes the very nature of resilience to me. And to kind of extend that question, Naan veelven endru ninaithayo, I'm trying to use another song of Bharadiyar, where he accuses Maya, illusion, of being the one thing that is taking him away from the path of righteousness, away from the path of duty. So this song is all about bashing Maya, bashing illusion. I'm very sorry if there is anyone called Maya in this house. This song is not at you. This is against the negative illusions, the negative aspersions that threaten to take us away from our distant path. So here is Thedi choru nidam tindru, followed by a song on Maya. Thedi choru nidam tindru, தேடி சோறு நிதம் தின்று பல சின்னஞ்சிறு கதைகள் பேசி தேடிச் சோறு நிதம் தின்று பல சின்னஞ்சிறு கதைகள் பேசி மனம் வாடி துன்பமிக உழன்று பிறர் வாட பல செயல்கள் செய்து நரை கூடி கிழப்பருவமெய்தி நரை கூடி கிழப்பருவமெய்தி கொடும் கூற்றுக்கு இறையன பின்மாயும் தேடிச் சோறு நிதம் தின்று பல சின்னஞ்சிறு கதைகள் பேசி மனம் வாடி துன்பமிக உழன்று பிறர் வாட பல செயல்கள் செய்து நரை கூடி கிழப்பருவமெய்தி கொடும் கூற்றுக்கு இறையன பின்மாயும் பல வேடிக்கை மனிதரைப் போல வேடிக்கை மனிதரைப் போல பல வேடிக்கை மனிதரைப் போல பல வேடிக்கை மனிதரைப் போல நான் வீழ்வேன் என்று நினைத்தாயோ நான் வீழ்வேன் என்று நினைத்தாயோ பல வேடிக்கை மனிதரைப் போல நான் வீழ்வேன் என்று நினைத்தாயோ வீழ்வேன் என்று நினைத்தாயோ கழிப்பாரோ மாயையே. உண்மை அறிந்தவர் உன்னை கழிப்பாரோ மாயையே. மனத்தின்மை உள்ளோரை நீ செய்வதும் ஒன்றுண்டோ மாயையே. எத்தனை கோடி படை கொண்டு வந்தாலும் மாயையே. எத்தனை கோடி படை கொண்டு வந்தாலும் மாயையே. நீ சித்த தெளிவெனும் தீயின் முன்னிற்பாயோ மாயையே. நீ சித்த தெளிவெனும் தீயின் முன்னிற்பாயோ மாயையே. என் இச்சை கொண்டு உன்னை வெற்றி விட வல்லேன் மாயையே. இனி உன்னிச்சை கொண்டேன கொன்றும் வாராது காண் மாயையே. யார்க்கும் குடியல்லேன் யான் என்ப தோர்ந்த நன்மாயையே. யார்க்கும் குடியல்லேன் யான் என்ப தோர்ந்த நன்மாயையே. உந்தன் போர்க்கஞ்சுவேனோ உந்தன் போர்க்கஞ்சுவேனோ பொடியாக்குவேன் உன்னை மாயையே. உந்தன் போர்க்கஞ்சுவேனோ பொடியாக்குவேன் உன்னை மாயையே. உன்னை மாயையே பொடியாக்குவேன் உன்னை மாயையே. உந்தன் போர்க்கு அஞ்சுவேனோ பொடியாக்குவேன் உன்னை மாயையே. ஓ Maya, oh illusion, will I ever be afraid of waging a war against you? Never. I will annihilate you. So that's the word with which he ends. So that is guts. The second one is patience, porumai. Let's go to Sant Kabir, because he has given a very beautiful doha about how to stay calm. Porumaiyaru, time will take its own course. Things will happen in its own sweet pace. I'm again reminded of the dialogue from Devar Magan. Sivaji Ganesan character says, "Whether chona padan saapadu nenikka mudiyumo," he says. The moment you plant a seed, can you expect to eat that fruit? No. It will take time. Meduva tha varum. Dheere dheere re mana, dheere sab kuch hoye. Mali siiche 100 ghada, rutu aaye phal hoye. Please, oh mind, just pace yourself. Be slow. Just take it easy. Be patient. Things will happen in its own pace. A gardener may water a plant 100 times every day, but only when the season is right, the fruit will come to you. So this is the beautiful doha that he has given to instill patience as a virtue. Dheere dheere re mana, dheere dheere re mana, धीरे सब कुछ होए. धीरे धीरे रे मना, धीरे सब कुछ होए. धीरे धीरे रे मना, धीरे सब कुछ होए. माली सींची 100 घड़ा, माली सींचे 100 घड़ा, माली सींचे 100 घड़ा, माली सींचे 100 घड़ा. ऋतु आए फल होए, ऋतु आए फल होए, ऋतु आए फल होए, ऋतु आए फल होए, धीरे धीरे रे मना, धीरे सब कुछ होए, माली सिंची सौघड़ा, ऋतु आए फल होए, धीरे 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 रे मना. Finally, hope. We always need hope. Hope is what makes life beautiful, worth waiting for. And for hope, I have a medley of 2 songs. Both songs talk about the word Vendum. We wish for something to happen. We wish something good happens. That's the hope that we nurture every day in our lives. Again, going back to Bharatiyar on one side, where he talks about what is needed within ourselves, personal wishes, that wish list that we may have made. And then Dandapani Desigar, on the other hand, another famous Tamil composer, talks about what is needed, the wish list for the society at large. What is it that we need to ensure that the society around us also gets uplifted? So Agam, Puram. Bharatiyar talks about all those wishes that we need to have for ourselves. Dandapani Desigar composes a song about all the wish list that we need to hope for the society at large. Manadil urudi vendum, manadil urudi vendum, வாக்கினிலே இனிமை வேண்டும், மனதில் உறுதி வேண்டும், வாக்கினிலே இனிமை வேண்டும், மனதில் உறுதி வேண்டும், வாக்கினிலே இனிமை வேண்டும், நினைவு நல்லது வேண்டும், நினைவு நல்லது வேண்டும், நெருங்கின பொருள் கைப்பட வேண்டும், மனதில் உறுதி வேண்டும், கனவு மெய்ப்பட வேண்டும், காரிம கனவு மெய்ப்பட வேண்டும், கைவசமாவது விரைவில் வேண்டும், கனவு மெய்ப்பட வேண்டும், கைவசமாவது விரைவில் வேண்டும், தனமும் இன்பமும் வேண்டும், தனமும் இன்பமும் வேண்டும், தரணியிலே பெருமை வேண்டும், மனதில் உறுதி வேண்டும், கண் திறந்திட வேண்டும், காரியத்தில் உறுதி வேண்டும், கண் திறந்திட வேண்டும், காரியத்தில் உறுதி வேண்டும், பெண் விடுதலை வேண்டும், பெண் விடுதலை வேண்டும், பெரிய கடவுள் காக்க வேண்டும், மனதில் உறுதி வேண்டும், வாக்கினிலே இனிமை வேண்டும், மனதில் உறுதி வேண்டும், நல்வாழ்க்கையே நாளும் வேண்டும், நல்வாழ்க்கையே நாளும் வேண்டும், உலகில் நல்வாழ்க்கையே நாளும் வேண்டும், உலகில் நல்லனவே செய்ய வேண்டும், நலமுடைய நல்வாழ்க்கையே நாளும் வேண்டும், இல்லாத மக்களுக்கு இந்து உவக்க வேண்டும், இல்லாத மக்களுக்கு இந்து உவக்க வேண்டும். இன்ன ஒருவோர்க்கு இன்சொல் உதவ வேண்டும். இன்ன ஒருவோர்க்கு இன்சொல் உதவ வேண்டும். நல்வாழ்க்கையே நாளும் வேண்டும். நல்லார் உறவை நெஞ்சில் நாட்டம் கொள்ளவே வேண்டும். நல்லார் உறவை நெஞ்சில் நாட்டம் கொள்ளவே வேண்டும். நன்றி நினைப்போர் கூட்டம் நாட்டில் பெருக வேண்டும். நன்றி நினைப்போர் கூட்டம் நாட்டில் பெருக வேண்டும். கல்லாத மக்கள் எல்லாம் கற்று தெளிதல் வேண்டும். கல்லாத மக்கள் எல்லாம் கற்று தெளிதல் வேண்டும். கடவுள் அருள் நினைந்து காலம் கழிக்க வேண்டும். நல்வாழ்க்கையே நாளும் வேண்டும். உலகில் நல்லனவே செய்ய வேண்டும். நலமுடைய நல்வாழ்க்கையே நலமுடைய நல்வாழ்க்கையே நலமுடைய நல்வாழ்க்கையே நாளும் வேண்டும். Dandapani Desikar wishes for the best of life for everyone, including us and surrounding us. So once again, congratulations to everyone in this room, all the prize winners, all the award winners for showing such resilience in dire times. Let us all remember with gratitude the paths that we have traveled to overcome the hurdles so far. Let's be responsible, be empathetic, and let's be safe. Thank you so much. Good night.